everybody, in now, and here we are for our 23rd. For our 23rd, it's all about you, Facebook Live broadcasts. And that's exactly what it is. It is about you, the members. And this is for 100 days. So I'm in the Now group for 100 days. And this is, as I said, this is number 23. And what it is you as members in Now come with me and sit here for 15 minutes, no longer than 15 minutes, and tell us about you. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your business. Help us. Give us some tips and tricks. So today we have Jenny. And I know Jenny is a cook. And I would love her to come into my house and cook for me. And I have to say, her kitchen is beautiful. I'm quite envious. So, Jenny, who are you and what do you do?
Well, I'm Jenny Thomson. Thank you very much, first of all, Lindsay, for having me on. This is very quite different and quite exciting.
Cool.
But what do? I run a company called Courses for Cooks. I'm a one-man band, so I don't have any staff at present. And I help people become more confident in the kitchen. So I'm teaching them how to cook. I have a whole rake of scheduled courses, which run sort of 2 terms in advance. So come Easter time, I'll be working on my autumn courses again.
Wow.
So scheduled courses, I also do custom courses. So for anybody who can't come at a specific time or wants a one-to-one or has specific dietary issues or whatever, you can come on a custom course, and that's organised as and when required. I do group courses, so things like hens, stags, families, groups of friends, office team building, that kind of thing. I do recipe development, so if you are a food producer, and I've worked in the past with a couple of farmers who are food producers, but they're not cooks. So for them to create recipes and write out recipes and do all the sort of calorie counting and things.
Wow, that's unusual.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Over the summer, I was doing it was a black pudding and haggis producer. So I created 10 recipes for haggis, black pudding, and white pudding over the summer, which was really, it was it was really challenging actually, and I like a challenge.
Well, yes.
I also do a bit of consultancy. So if you're starting a restaurant or a coffee shop, or want to look into the sort of whether it would be feasible even, I can help with that. And I also do demonstrations for who do I do demonstrations for? Anybody who wants a cookery demonstration. So
yes, and Jenny, you're going to come to one of the Now meetings, and we're going to be doing sushi.
Well, yes, we thought about doing sushi.
Yeah.
Given it a huge amount of thought recently, but I did have an inquiry from another company to go and do a knife skills thing for about 30 people. So I have in my head a whole whirl of ideas how I can do that with a minimum number of minimum amount of equipment and how to split into teams.
Yes, because most of your I mean, I'm presuming, I don't know, most of your courses and things are in your own home.
They
so
are,
you've got everything there.
I've got equipment for 4.
So
it's how to do it with not an awful lot more equipment.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
So coming, well, maybe by, I can't remember, what was it, September? I think it was September that you're going to come along.
I don't remember.
September, October, yes. So maybe by then you've got it sussed out just how we're going to make this sushi when it's not in your own kitchen.
Uh-huh.
That would be fun. So how long have you been a cook? How long have you been cooking? And how did you get like that to do
I,
that?
I went and did a cordon bleu course when I left school. So from when I was 20, I went down to London and did that. I did a secretarial course before that and decided I really didn't want to be sat in an office bashing away on a typewriter as it was in those days. Um, so I went and did my cookery course and discovered something that I really enjoyed. I think it was just the fact that it was a practical thing,
Right.
um, and discovered that I was actually quite good at it. So it's just kind of stemmed from there. I went off and did worked abroad for a wee while. Came back, worked in a restaurant in my hometown, which is in St Andrews. Did that for 18 months, got married, started my own restaurant,
Oh,
um,
wow.
and ran my own restaurant for 15 years alongside my then husband. So
Heavens.
that's how I came to be where I am today. So I've been self-employed since I was 23.
Goodness gracious. And you would have learned a lot of tips on the way there on how to be self-employed. How
Absolutely. Hmm.
what is the one thing that sort of kept you going?
I think, well, I think I'm quite stubborn sometimes, and it's maybe a case of deciding not to give up.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, and no matter what happens, you just sort of just put your head down and think, right, that's it. I'm going to get on. I'm going to do this.
that's right.
So we had a discussion just beforehand that I live my own and I tend not to cook meals because it's just for myself. Would you have any suggestions for someone like me that could eat properly? I mean, I'll just go to the cupboard and say, oh, I'll have a baked potato and I'll take it out. And I've got nothing to put in it. How can I be prepared? Please help me.
Is that's something that I've been through. When my husband left, I suddenly realised I was on my own, and when the kids went to his house, I had nobody to cook for, and I actually created um, my individual what I call it the individual gourmet, and it's a series of recipes with tutorial videos and shopping lists for specifically for people, single people to eat well. And once you have your basic store cupboard of spices and things like pasta and rice and the basic dry goods, you can virtually buy a chicken breast and a carrot and feed yourself for almost a week. Um,
Really?
so that is currently on my website. Um,
Okay, well, I have to go and have a look. I'll put all your links and things in.
it's about self-care, and we go on about being so busy, but also when you're on your own, sometimes you sit about and you think, God, what can I do? I've got nothing to do. And it's actually, instead of sitting there, it's actually taking time and and making yourself cook it and being absorbed in the cooking process and enjoying that
Mhm.
cooking process just for you.
Yeah. Do you know that's a really good point there? Enjoy it.
Mhm.
Because like you, when my husband was alive and the children were around, there's a purpose.
Mhm.
And it's great, to get the ingredients and to put them together. But when it's just yourself, you think, oh, why
Yeah,
bother?
can't be
And you
bothered.
really don't.
And that's when you open the packet of crisps or biscuits or go to the chip shop or something, and suddenly
Yes.
you end up with spots or bad skin and
Yeah,
aches and pains and
absolutely.
on a few pounds and yeah.
Now, I know you were doing a course on sour bread. Now,
Mhm.
I'm particularly interested in that because I adore bread. I will eat it till the cows come home. But yet, most of the bread I buy, it's got all the additives in and everything else. Would sour bread be acceptable to somebody like myself who wants to eat well?
Absolutely, yeah. Sourdough bread is great, because it's a 2 or 3 day process, and when you're
Really?
making bread, the longer and slower you can rise or prove the bread and ferment the bread, the more digestible it becomes because the yeasts um, convert the gluten, or they feed on the sugars and the gluten, um,
Oh.
make it more digestible. So yeah, it's a good thing.
So that's what makes it, as you say, digestible, is because the yeast have actually eaten or the gluten that's in the bread that is in the usual bread that we buy.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, that's
I mean,
interesting.
your standard white loaf is made within about 20 minutes or half an hour. That that's why we have so many people who have gluten intolerances. Is because they're eating for one, they're eating too much wheat, too many wheat products, and to have a good diet, you need it's everything in moderation. Um, but if you eat a lot of processed food, there's an awful lot of it's got wheat in it, and we're just putting too much wheat into our bodies.
That's
Um,
interesting. I like that one because yes, because even the pasta
mhm,
is made from durum wheat and the rest. So, well, I'm going to have a look at sour bread. And one of these days actually come on your course because the breads that you showed us in the image after the video after, oh my God, I just wanted to reach in and gimme, gimme, gimme. It just looked fabulous, just looked absolutely fabulous.
mhm,
Well, Jenny, I mean, can you believe it? That's been 12 minutes we've been on here. It just flies by.
mhm.
So I've got a question that I want to ask you, and it's, what accomplishments in your life are you most proud of?
I think I've written a list actually. I'll show you. That's the list
Oh, I wonder. Oh,
of what I wrote of my accomplishments. So I think my main accomplishment is my life, and what I've done and how it's kind of panned out. Um, so I've
right.
been
Yeah.
self-employed since I was 23. I've run my own restaurant for 15 years. I grew that business from a seasonal business to an all year round business. So I started with 2 members of staff and finished up with 56.
Gee.
I've raised 2 children, and I've started courses for cooks. So I'm proud of having been able to find a niche within the food industry, which is slightly different and can be worked around family life. I've learned through this business a lot of marketing skills. I've learned a bit more about photography. I can produce my own videos. I maintain my own website. I've got a diet and nutrition qualification.
Wow.
Um, I'm working on a membership program, all to do.
So that was some question.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Fabulous.
There is no one single answer, but yes, just all
It
my life
is.
skills have
Oh,
added to where I am today.
fabulous. And before, I mean, yourself, I mean, I know myself, anybody knows themselves what it is that they have accomplished in life. And before you sat down and wrote that out, did you really appreciate everything that you've got you where you are now?
No, and I think we forget to do that. We're told quite often to celebrate all our wins, but actually, when you write all these wins down in a list, it's amazing the amount of skill and accomplishments that you accomplish throughout your life, and you shouldn't forget that. And I think too, majority of my married life after children has been spent at home, and very little um, very little appreciation is given for that. It's not really seen as an accomplishment raising children. Um,
Yes. And
yeah.
it is one of the biggest accomplishments as part of it. But as women, we tend to just say, right, this is what we have to do, and we just get on with it. But
Mhm.
well, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, Jenny, for all that information. And we can go away, and we've got some certainly about sourdough there. I mean, I'm really excited about creating some. So, Pop, when is your next course?
My next sourdough course is, I think it's in March, towards the end of March.
Okay.
But my next general course is Wednesday.
Wednesday. Every week.
Normally once a week in term time, yeah.
Right, okay. And you live in Edinburgh?
No, I'm in Fife. I'm in Dunfermline.
Of course you are. Of course you are. Do you know, it's as if I didn't even know that. But no matter. You're still not very far away. You're just over the water.
Just over the bridge.
Over the bridge.
It's not hard to see.
Not far at all. Well, thank you so much, Jenny. That was fantastic. And everybody now who are watching this now or on replay, if you want any more information on how to cook, how to bake, then I'll pop Jenny's links in, down, up. They'll be there anyhow. And I know that Jenny would help you with anything in connection with baking, cooking, that she can answer.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody in now. And if you want to come on here with me to sit here, I've still got lots and lots of days left. All of March is filled up and I'm into April now though. So I've got all of April and 9 days in May. So if you want to come on here and talk about yourself, which is, to me, I think it's the best thing, just talking about me, myself. So I'm going to love you and leave you, everybody. And thank you so much, Jenny. We will see you soon. Bye, everybody, and now. Bye-bye.